Back to Talk of the Town on this Friday. The bitter socialite blogger Trace Barnett joins us now. He has a couple of creative ideas for centerpieces. Good to have you back with us today.
Thank you so much. I love coming up here, especially on a Friday. And what better way than to celebrate with a centerpiece? So today we have two summer centerpieces.
Okay.
One that utilizes summer flowers and the other that utilizes fresh produce.
Fantastic.
So we're going to start here. And as you can see, we have this in a tray. And I love to serve a centerpiece in a tray because if you're outside, if you find a shade tree, I know it's hot, you can just pick your whole centerpiece up. You can include your plates, your glasses, your beverage of choice, napkins, silverware. You can just pick up the whole tray and transport it outside.
Okay, yeah.
And you know,
nice.
this is just a repurposed tray that we sprayed white. It was just a brown rattan. You can pick these up, you know, for pennies on the dollar at yard sales, whatever. Make sure it's sturdy and that it has good handles. So summer flowers are bright, airy, full of color, and I love to capture that in a centerpiece. So what I like to do is just use a combination of all kinds of glassware. As you can see, we have like a brandy glass, we have an old little milk jug here, and I love to just go ahead and combine all the different shapes and textures and allow the light to come through that green. Here I've just used regular cheerful zinnias, and you know what, you don't have to fill the containers up since you're doing a combination centerpiece.
Them there, just let them all kind of melt, mesh
you know,
together.
all you do to that is just go ahead, pull the leaves off, trim it to fit, and just go ahead and stick that directly into your container, and you are ready to go for a summer centerpiece. And I like to just keep them free-flowing and just kind of let them spill over. So our other centerpiece was inspired by a farm stand.
I
And
like
so,
this
I mean,
idea.
look at these tomatoes. I mean,
they're
absolutely beautiful. And I love to go ahead and find the varieties that have a little bit of color variation as well as different shapes and textures. Go ahead, purchase those, make sure they still have the stems attached, and layer them in a galvanized tiered tray like this. And all you need to do is go ahead, and this is going to be a 360 kind of centerpiece, so it goes all the way around. Go ahead and place tomatoes of different sizes just around your tier, just like that, and combine the different shapes. As you can see, we have the huge extra large ones. We go down to the plum tomatoes, and then we go down to the tiny little tomatoes. And I love to just layer that. And to top that off, if you find some on the vine, go ahead, top that off on that final layer, and just get sprigs of basil, and just go ahead and place that directly into your container and allow that to spill out. And you know, tomatoes and basil are a match made in heaven, and they smell just so aromatic. In your centerpiece, go ahead and use corn tassels, which this is just the top of corn, and if you have a garden, you know that the corn is probably going out, so just go ahead and trim those off.
Pull that off? Okay,
and they're dried so they don't require any water, and they're going to have a long shelf life. When you're setting up your table, I love to use these little seed packets, use them as place cards, and of course utilize old mason jars, festive vintage napkins, and I just love the combination of textures and colors.
Yeah, that's all very cool. The other cool thing too with this, you could even just, that could be kind of like a little take-home gift for the folks.
Absolutely. Your guests can identify their seat with their flower. They can choose their own flower, and then they can take the seeds home and plant them and remember your party forever.
All right. And is this stand here just something that you use for a dessert on at another event or something like that?
It is, yes. And you can use this for desserts. You can use it for food. You can use it for any purpose you want. And another thing, we talked about having the handle so it's portable. Look for these tiered stands. As you can see, this has a wooden handle on it.
Oh, makes it easy to carry.
You can just grab that and take that if you're entertaining outside. And I love to mix the galvanized stuff with all the beautiful colors.
All right, fantastic. As always,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Great information there. You'll find more entertaining ideas and DIY tips on Trace's blog at thebittersocialite.com.